On the next episode of Guiding Grace Bookkeeping, I believe that the Bible is a source of wisdom for every area of our lives. And this incredible chapter offers a divine blueprint for running a successful and God-honoring business. This is a perfect picture of strategic, thoughtful investment. This is a powerful lesson for us all to be prayerful and powerful in our financial decisions, trusting God to guide our steps. Hey there, family. Gabrielle here, daughter of the Almighty, mom to two amazing kids, and a Yorkie named Luna. Also, I'm a fellow Christian business owner. If you're ready to say yes to financial clarity and exchange chaos for calm, you're in the right place. We're diving deep into strong faith, practical stewardship, and savvy bookkeeping. All right, family, grab your coffee and your notebook. Let's talk about God, business, and getting those books in order. Hey family, welcome back to the Guiding Grace Bookkeeping Podcast. Okay, so today we're diving into a powerful and perhaps unexpected topic, the Proverbs 31 woman. Okay. Hear me out. Now you might be thinking, what does an ancient biblical passage have to do with my small business bookkeeping? Okay, stick with me here and I'll tell you. Well, as a Christian entrepreneur, I believe that the Bible is a source of wisdom for every area of our lives. And this incredible chapter offers a divine blueprint for running a successful and God-honoring business, not just for women, but for men too. Okay, so the Proverbs 31 woman isn't just a homemaker. She's a masterclass in business acumen. And her story is a testament to what's possible when we combine hard work with faith. So I know a lot of the times, especially Christian women, we refer to Proverbs 31 as like how to be the Proverbs 31 woman. But today I want to look at it more from a business perspective today. Okay, so first, let's look at the incredible work ethic that the woman is displaying in Proverbs 31. So Proverbs 31 verse 13 says, "She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands." So this verse speaks to a proactive and joyful work ethic. So she doesn't wait for things to happen. She finds opportunities and put her hands to work with diligence. She's not just a manager, she's an active participant in her business, understanding the details from the ground up. That's also so important. You, as an owner, as a small business owner, or even a middle business owner, mid business owner, large business owner, it doesn't matter. I believe as an owner, you should have some degree as what's going on in your business for the health of your business, to make sure that your business stays in the line of God's vision for you. Right? So let's also talk about Proverbs 31:16. About her financial wisdom. It says she considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hands, she plants a vineyard. Right? Let that sink in for a second. Okay, your second's over. This is a perfect picture of strategic, thoughtful investment. She's not impulsive. She prayerfully considers her options, researches the potential, and then uses the fruit of her hands, the money that she earned, to invest in future growth. This is a powerful lesson for us all to be prayerful and powerful in our financial decisions, trusting God to guide our steps. In the episode previous to this, Trusting God with Business, if you haven't listened to this, pause this right now and go listen to episode 4. Okay, we got a little deep. So praying about decisions, making smart business investments, and only to do that, you have to have clarity, right? So you research, you get an understanding. This lays it out. Don't be impulsive when it comes to business, a God-led business. So Proverbs 31:17, right? So this passage highlights strength and dignity. She dresses herself with strength and makes her arms strong. Running a business is a marathon, not a sprint. Sit there for a second. Running a business is a marathon. I have to tell that to myself because as a newer business and launching, you sit here and you're like, I don't have any clients. I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I not able to start my business today, then tomorrow quit my full-time job and then only work for myself? No, 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 no. Patience, perseverance. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So it requires both physical and spiritual strength. So this verse also reminds us that true strength comes from God. As we rely on Him, He empowers us for the work He's called us to do. Guys, when I tell you a lot, I say, Lord, I don't know what I'm doing. Help me. I am tired, working a full-time job, doing the business, doing the podcast, raising kids, trying to be present in life, trying to be the good friend, trying to be the good cousin. Is exhausting. And I don't have the strength. We're limited. We're very limited. But God is unlimited in strength. So lean onto Him and He empowers us to do the work that He's called us to do. All right. So we'll also talk about how in Proverbs 31, it talks about financial stewardship. All right. So it just says that Proverbs 31 verse 18 says, she perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Sorry. I can't English, can't words today. All right. So this shows her deep understanding of her finances, her profit margins, her expenses, her cash flows. She's a what? A bookkeeper. That sounds familiar. Wow. Right. I bet you read that chapter, Proverbs 31, a million times and you didn't think like, within the lines, ... period, and between the spaces of the highlighting area and notes I made to myself. Am I not the only one that write in my Bible? Because I do. I make little notes. You didn't think that Proverbs 31 was going to tell you about bookkeeping, right? Well, then that's a perfect example of how to have a clear picture of your finances that's going in and out of your business, your expenses, your income, everything related to the health and the flow of your business financial. So it's basically a clear call that God has entrusted us with His resources to keep accurate and clear understanding of what's going on. And that's part of being a good stewardship, the steward of His finances, the steward of His resources. So another thing I want to touch a little base on as well is how she was successful, but then also that she was successful, she also helped others, right? So Proverbs 31:20 says, she extends her hand to the poor and reaches out her hands to the needy. So the difference between a worldly business and a God kingdom business is that God calls us to love one another, help one another in need. So if you're called, and if God's plan on your life, all right, because we all operate in different parts of the body of Christ. If God calls you to have a little bit more abundance in resources that He blessed you with, and your cup is overflowing, but then you see your neighbor struggling, your friend, your sister, your family member, help them. Pray, be led, ask the Holy Spirit to guide you on how you could be helping in that person's life. But we are supposed to be a community. We are supposed to help one another. And that's pleasing into God's eyes. Therefore, He will continue to bless you, bless your business. So then there's another one, leadership and legacy. So she's a leader who cares for her business and her team. So we'll look at it as she looks well to the ways of her household, Proverbs 31:27. So in a business context, this means she manages her team, her processes, her resources with care, building a business that's not only profitable, but also a beacon of integrity and grace. She's building a legacy that will honor God for generations. You know, when you have, it's all about perspective. When I read this chapter time and time and time and time again, and it was to make sure that I am trying my best, right, to be a better homemaker, a better woman that God has called me to be. And I never thought about Proverbs 31 to help me be a better business owner until I started looking at it as this woman runs her own business and she takes care of her home and she helps the needy. Her family adores her. But she takes care of her business and it tells you how she's taking care of her business, right? So having these kind of glasses, so to speak, to look at it from a different perspective has given me another approach to looking at business, and I wanted to share with you guys. All right. So I want to give you some action steps because we are doers, not just listeners. We are doers. We're going through this journey together. All right. So this week, here are 3 action steps I want you to work on. All right. So pray over your finances. This will probably always be included in the action steps. Pray without ceasing. Right. So the Proverbs 31 woman prayerfully considers her decisions. Take a moment this week to pray over your business finances. Ask God for wisdom and clarity in your financial planning and bookkeeping. That's first and foremost because God is the CEO of your business. So therefore, you should have a business meeting with him and say, Lord, how should I store these finances? Which direction should I go with the resources that you have blessed me with? All right. Another way you can open up your bookkeeping software or spreadsheet. Hopefully you are already tracking your finances. And before you start, simply just say the short prayer. All right. So you ask for the insight and then you spend about 30 minutes updating your records if you're behind. If you have a lot, then you spend about 30 minutes to try to get everything organized. If you don't know, stay tuned. We'll talk about little basic tips and habits to keep you sorted. Another one, invest in your spiritual and business growth. All right. So remember, the Proverbs 31 woman makes her arm strong. What is one way you can strengthen your spiritual or business foundation? Maybe go back to carving out that 15 minutes each day of quiet time before your day starts, right? Reading your word, praying, journaling, whatever it is, and however you spend time with God, carve that time out every single day before you turn on your computer, before you're ripping and running, before life is pulling you in a million directions. Carve out that time. You guys hear me harp about spending time with God before the day starts. Trust me, it's a life changer and it guides you and it gives you the grace you need to get through your day. And also find a way to be generous. It doesn't always have to be monetary. It could be being there when a friend calls. That one friend that calls you a million times always seems like her world is on fire and you're just like, I'm tired, I ain't got the bandwidth. Find the bandwidth. Find the bandwidth. Maybe you hear someone in need. Maybe your business can afford to give a donation, or maybe there's a local nonprofit that you would like to support, or your local church. Find a way to be generous with your business, okay? Man, then that's it. I really hope that this different perspective on the Proverbs 31 woman was helpful to you today. It definitely was helpful to me. It definitely gave me a different way to look at Proverbs 31. It definitely gave me direction on to be a little bit more intentional about my business, intentional about the way of thinking about how my business should be run or what it means to run a God-led business versus what the world is telling me to do. And I hope that me sharing this insight with you will help you get closer to having a God-led business, will help you get closer to offering that mindset shift that you're going to need to get clarity through God. Thanks again for joining. Until next time. As we close out today's episode of Guiding Grace Bookkeeping, I truly pray that something resonated with your heart and brought you closer to financial clarity and peace. If you felt that connection, or if a specific insight sparked something within you, please consider taking a moment to leave us a review and subscribe to wherever you listen to podcasts. Your feedback helps us grow and reach more individuals like you. And if you know someone yearning for more grace and wisdom in their finances, be a blessing and share this episode with them. Remember, walking by faith and managing with grace can transform your entire world. Until next time, stay blessed, keep shining, and let's keep those books looking beautiful.